A Myrmecia nigrocincta worker searching out in the outworld for the next protein meal for its colony. The cricket hides up in the leaf. Let's see what happens. Well, today we're going to be checking out my colony of nigrocincta, Myrmecia nigrocincta, and this is Queen Lilith and the Valkaries, as named by one of my Patreons, so thank you for that. So this colony is still in here, this little setup in the bull ant den from Ozants. Check the link in the description for that. Over in their website, if you use Novo Ants, you can get 5% off your order as well. Here in the outworld, though, we can see a cricket doing its best to hide, and here we have a worker out there searching for that next protein. And it's an amazing thing to watch these bull ants actually hunt. Their eyesight is very good, but they still need to search around and to see it. The cricket remaining very still as not to be noticed by this worker. Now, what a bull ant does, and what bull ants do, is they basically hunt individually. They're not like a lot of other species of ants, which work together or otherwise lay down chemical scents towards food. Bull ants or Myrmecia, they like to hunt, and they like to hunt live food. So this bull ant leaves the nest, it goes out in search of a small insect or like that it can take, can attack, and sting, incapacitate, and drag back to the nest for that hungry brood that await. Now, what a Myrmecia does is it locks on to its prey with those huge mandibles at the front. Now, it's not the mandibles itself that do the damage, but it's the tail end. It's their sting on their abdomen. And once it stings, it incapacitates the prey, no longer able to move, completely paralyzed, and on its way to dying. And then, once it's incapacitated, it can be dragged back into the nest. Here we can see this beautiful worker. Look at those amazing colours on it, the orange and the black, as it searches through the outworld. Now, it's only a fairly small outworld I have here for this colony. There's not many workers at all. We'll have a look at that in a second inside the nest and see what's going on there, which is fantastic and great to see. But you can see it's just working around, looking for anything that may be out here. So as you can see, we've got the bull ant nest, or the bull ant den here. Now this is 3 test tubes. I've done a review on this, so please check that out if you'd like to know a little bit more about these. But as we can see, the outlay here of those 3 test tubes, you can see the middle one there, they're actually using is a refuge or dump pile. Now back into the outworld here, we can see the cricket here has now come out of the fake plant in the middle there, and the worker is around. What is going to happen? Sometimes it's not as quick as what we think may happen. Sometimes they're straight onto it. But here we can see the worker just passing by closely. It obviously is not looking in that direction. So always interesting to watch workers go about doing their hunting. You will have seen a little bit on the Brevinota colony that I have and the hunting that goes on here. Wow, look at those quick movements. You can see why they get the name jumping jacks as well. Those lightning quick movements that you see there. And here it goes, just trying to get hold of it, and bang, but still just could not grab on. With crickets, being those powerful hind legs, they really can kick that worker off. The cricket's gone the wrong way though. Probably inside the nest is not the safest place. So it's gone inside to the refuge, or where all the rubbish is put by this colony. Probably not the best place, and the worker has gone in looking for it. It's going to be interesting to see really what does happen here. Will the worker find it? Looks like the worker's gone inside and the cricket's coming back out. Clever little thing. And there it goes again. And away it runs and back into the outworld. That worker knows it's there, and it is trying to trace it down. And here it goes. It's coming into that outworld again to have another look. will we be able to see this cricket get taken down by this worker? If you think about the size here, this cricket is probably bigger than that worker. So it's quite a formidable task, really, isn't it? Slightly smaller crickets might be better. It's seen the movement again, it's watching, but it's going to think twice about it. Now, well, we might have to tune back in to see what happens. So here in the colony itself, we've got the queen sitting there with the workers. We've got another worker down in this test tube as well. And then the other one is coming back from the outworld. We can just see it here. There it goes into there. So we've got a total here of 4 workers and the queen, which is really nice. Now I came back a little bit later and here's that cricket. So we can see the worker did manage to take it down. Unfortunately, I didn't get to capture that, but we can see the cricket here sitting in the nest. Totally paralysed, probably dead now from the venom that was injected. You can see the queen interested there as well. Now, have you noticed any brood? Can you see any brood in this colony? Don't think there's any there yet, but hang on. Down in this corner, look at that. Small cluster of eggs, so new eggs, which is fantastic to have. Part of this colony again. Always great to see when there are more workers on the way. Because what happens, the smaller the ant, generally the less time that it actually lives. So the smaller Brevinoda workers, the Brevinoda workers can live for quite a long time, whereas here we have on the nigrocincta colony, they don't live for quite as long. So really happy with how the colony is going here so far. But let's have a closer look and see if we can come back and have a look at the eggs and what's going on. What they've decided to do, this colony, is in the top test tube. I've put a water reservoir in that one. The middle one here, we can see all of the rubbish, so all of the cocoons from the hatched workers, the leftover mealworms or cricket parts. And then in the bottom one, again, another water reservoir. And what I do is I interchange between those as the water runs out. So they've always got somewhere nice to go and nest and to keep the brood well hydrated. And it's a really nice feature about this bull ant den, very interchangeable. If we have a little bit of a closer look here, up at the queen, with the macro lens attached, we can now see a little bit more detail. And we can see one of those eggs right there. How amazing. Let's see if we can find some of the other ones. When I decide to come back the next day, hiding in the sand, here we go, we've got another one there. Let's see if we can find any more. It's one of the workers scurrying through. A little hard to see against this white background. What beautiful colour. Do you like the colour of this species? We'll come back and we'll see if we can find the other eggs. There were 4, maybe 5 there the other day. So we've got the one here. Got another one just sitting there on the right. Beautiful. Have we got any other ones? Oh, here we go. Hiding just behind the queen here. There we go. Beautiful. Excellent. So that's fantastic to see. And this amazing queen has a fair bit of size compared to her workers. The abdomen there is nice and swollen, which is great. Good to see. She's in the laying phase. And we can see a little bit closer up here on one of the workers in the mouth parts. And the queen here as well. Those mandibles with the serrated jaws definitely can clutch onto that prey. It's one of the eggs. And look at this. How gentle are these workers? Those sharp mandibles, yet still gentle enough to be able to pick up one of the eggs and bring it back and place it with the others. How amazing to see that. Been able to maneuver around inside the nest without damaging that egg at all. Very precious to the colony, and they care for them so well. Absolutely awesome. So yes, very happy with the setup at the moment. The colony is developing a little bit slower than I would have liked, but hopefully we can get this colony up and running and get it to a decent size. Here we have in the outworld, I've put another cricket in there after the one from the other day. So we'll just see how this one goes. Already the worker's already testing it out. Oh, bang. That quick speed. Really amazing to see. but the cricket got away again. So anyway, we'll see how that goes. But I hope you've enjoyed this update on my Myrmecia nigrocincta colony and how it's going, and I'll be sure to do an update again on this colony perhaps throughout the winter. They will slow down during the winter, but we've got new eggs there, so it'll be really interesting to see what happens with this colony and how those brood develop, and that's something I'd like to time. So thank you for watching. Well, videos like this would not be possible without my wonderful Patreons. So thank you, Medical Carcass 9, Hugh Janus, Gordon C, and Ant Nation. Really appreciate it. For as little as $1 a month, you can support the channel and you'll get early access to videos, behind the scenes information, and plenty of other perks on different levels as well. So I really appreciate your support. Thank you very much. Well, if you've watched this far and you haven't subscribed yet, this is your chance. Hit that subscribe button. Plenty more brilliant content to come. There's a video recommended for you by YouTube and one that I picked that I think you'll like. Happy ant keeping.